Good day, folks. Welcome to Bright Mind Academy, where we bring brilliance to every lesson. In today's video, we're going to look at question 3 under May June 2023 question paper. Now it says to us, in the diagram, the equation of line AF is given as or is y is equal to negative 11 plus minus c, negative x minus c rather. Sorry, yes, okay, we are given that. B is a point on the x-axis. B, a point on the x-axis, is the midpoint of the straight line joining A and C. So very important, this is a midpoint. Let me just do this so that I can remember midpoint. Okay, remember how we use midpoint formula. Okay, yes. Now, the angles of inclination of EF and AC are alpha and 63.43 respectively. Okay, we are given that. AF cuts the x-axis at E, sorry. AF cuts the x-axis in E. AF cuts the x-axis in E here, okay? D is a point such that DE, it is parallel to AC. Okay, it is a point such that these two lines are parallel to one another thereof. Okay, if that is the case, this angle, it is equal to that angle. Okay, yes, that is a very important part. All right, now I'll just do this and take the important part, midpoint. When answering these points that I'm highlighting, we should use them somewhere, somehow. All right. Okay. Now let's move on. Calculate the value of t. Now I check where is t located here, right? But t, it is a point on this line, right? I know the equation of that line, so I can say, if I know the x, I can find the y, right? I can say y, it is equal to, and y, it is rather, you can say t, it is equal to negative into -1, or it's fine, just say y, it is equal to negative into -1 minus 11. Therefore, t, it is equal to 10. Okay, that is your answer. T, it is equal to 10. Very straightforward, 2 marks. Then now, size of alpha. All right, size of alpha here. Here is our alpha, right? Remember, how do we find the angle of inclination? It is an angle measured from the horizon, right? From here to whatever. So can you see that that is an obtuse angle, because this is 90. This is 90 here. This one is extended. So I'm expecting a larger value thereof. So my gradient, remember, how do I find angle of inclination? Remember the formula, it is m, it is equal to tan angle. In this case, let's use alpha. But if I want alpha, I'm gonna say the inverse. Okay, inverse tan of what? Of m. So now, do I know the gradient here? Yes, why? Because I'm giving the equation. Remember, the equation, it is y, it is equal to mx plus c. The value in front of my x, it is my gradient. What is my gradient? It is -1. So I can say alpha, it is equal to tan -1. If the value is negative, if I'm having -1 here, I'll just have to add what? 180 plus 180. Okay, then your alpha will get us 135 degrees. Or someone might say angle, it is equal to arctan of 1, just +1. But what you are actually getting, it is a reference angle. Remember from trigonometry, right? Then that reference angle will be equal to 45 degrees. Therefore, you'll have to say 180 minus that answer. But preferably, if your gradient, it is negative, just say plus 180. Okay, so we know that angle, it is 135. I'll just have to edit it. It is it will be very important, 135 degrees, right? Then here we have the coordinates of, let me rewrite them, -1 and 10. Okay, thank you. Gradient of AC. The examiner was giving easy marks here. This is basically the grade 11 analytical geometry. Okay, so yes, make sure that you know it. Okay, gradient of AC here. All right, remember, if you want gradient, instead of using gradient formula, because you do not know this coordinate here, we can instead say, remember the formula, it is m, it is equal to tan alpha. now, or any angle. Now we want our gradient. Do we have an angle of inclination between this line measured from the horizontal? Okay, if your angle was here, let's say your angle was 106.57. Let's say your angle was there, not this one. What you had to do instead, you were gonna get this angle, okay, this angle, this one there, because now we are saying you're gonna measure from the axis. You check your x-axis, then from the positive x-axis. That is where you do your measurements from. Sorry, my pen. Okay. Okay, I believe you're following. I believe you are following what I am trying to explain there. All right. Now let's just punch that and see how much we get. Um, let's see how much we get. You're gonna say tan of 63.43 degrees. The examiner asked us to the nearest whole number, right? Remember, to the nearest whole number, if you have 2.001, 2.014, blah blah, to the nearest whole number it is 2. If you have 1,93 blah blah blah, or 1,88 blah blah blah, it is going to be equal to 2, equal to 2. Okay, yes. Now let's see how much does it give us when we say tan 63.43. It gives us something like 1,99 blah 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 blah. Okay, so we're gonna say now m it is equal to 2 instead. Okay, sorry, the m here, the gradient, it is equal to 2. We have our gradient that is equal to 2. Gradient AC, it is equal to 2. Now determine the equation of AC in the form of that one, y is equal to mx plus k. That one is the same as mx plus plus c. K is just a variable or a constant. Now remember, to find an equation we need a gradient. Do we have a gradient of this line? Indeed we have. Okay, we have. Now we'll need just any point. Here we have. It is very easy. It is very easy. You can say y minus y1, it is equal to m into x minus x1. What is y? You just leave it as that. Y1, it is this value here. Okay, how much? 10. It is equal to m, it is 2x, just x, minus x1, it is this value here. Can you see that it is -1? So you're going to say -1, like that. So it's going to be y, it is equal to 2x, 2 multiplied by this is going to be positive. Okay, this is going to be positive. Then it's going to be 2x plus 2. Is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. The value here, it is -10. So the value here, it is -10. Remember when you substituted here, it was negative into 1 minus 11. Sorry if I said 10 in the previous. So it's supposed to be -10. So yes, sorry. So negative, when I substitute, it's going to be -10. Sorry about that. Which is going to be also positive. Okay, so it's going to be a positive 2 minus 10. So it's going to be y is equal to 2x minus 8. So our equation for that line, it is y it is equal to 2x minus 8. Okay, yes. You can also try using that formula y is equal to mx plus c and get your c, and what is fine as long as you get the same answer. Okay, so now we know this equation here, it is y it is equal to 2x minus 8. The coordinate here, we won't forget -1, -10. If you get a positive, something wrong, because can you see it is below? It is below, right? The y I'm expecting it to be negative. So 331, coordinate of C. Okay, the coordinates of C. Now C, it is any point. Let's see what they say about C. The angle blah 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 blah. Okay, B is a point on the x-axis. Agir. B, a point on the x-axis, is a midpoint of a straight line joining A and C. So remember we said B, it is a a midpoint between what A and C. So now, but the equation is with regards to what, to C. So can I find let me just find the coordinate of B, right? Now one thing I know here, it is the y value here. The y value here, it is 0. So I can say to my equation, I get back to my equation and say, okay, if my y is 0, let me find my x. So I'm going to say 0, it is equal to 2x minus 8. Then it's going to be 8, it is equal to 2x, x it is equal to 4. So now the coordinates thereof, it is what? 4 and 0. Do you all agree with me? The coordinates thereof, it is 4 and 0. What I like you to do, if this is a midpoint, you can say use transformation instead of using midpoint formula, because for me it takes a long, but I'll show you also. For transformation, I'm gonna say by transformation, what happens now, this point, whatever, I'm talking about the x, okay, whatever this -1 moved from here to there is going to be the exact units, the x coordinate of B moved to the x coordinate of C. Now the x coordinate of A was -1 to 4. The distance, it is how much? It is 5. You can say 4 minus -1, which is 4 plus 1 basically. So here it is 5 units. So if it is 5 units from x, so it means from this x we added what? 5 units. So similarly, let me say actually from -1 we added 5. It means now we reached to 4, right? So this 4 you're gonna similarly add to what? 5. You're gonna get 9. So it means the x coordinate, it is 9. Let's apply the very same thing also on the y. Okay, we're gonna say it is -10 here, -10 to 0. I hear -10 to 0, it is how many units? So you're gonna say from the -10 we added 10. Okay, so it means similarly here, from whatever coordinate that I have, 0, I'm gonna have to add what? 10. So the coordinate here is gonna be 9 and 10. Okay, but how do you write that answer out? You're gonna say by transformation. What about by transformation? My coordinate from what? From A to B, right? You're gonna say from A to B, you moved how many units? Okay, you moved five units basically. You moved how many units? 5 units. So you're gonna say from A to B, what happened? The transformation was x and y, whatever the coordinates that are at A. Okay, whatever the coordinates that are at A, let's name them x and y. We translated them by doing what? By turning them, by adding 5 to the x coordinate, right? But to y we added how much? We added 10. Do you all agree with me? We added 5 to the x. From -1 plus 5, it gave us 4, plus that one, it gave us that one again. But now, from B to C, now let's say what are coordinates of B? 4 and 0. If you apply that transformation, you're gonna say it is 4 plus 9 plus 5. Okay, whatever this coordinate is, plus 5. Then y is 0 plus 10. Can you see now the coordinates of C are therefore equal to what? 9 and 10. Okay, 9 and 10. Many I'm gonna say, let me get this angle here. Let me name this x, y, z, and then beta here. Okay, remember what they're looking for, it is beta in this case, FED. Oh, not necessarily that, this one. I'm going to call it the theta. Okay, so now the first step I'm going to say, let me find x. X, I'm going to say it is how much? 63.43 degrees. Why am I saying that? Vertically opposite angles. Okay, then now let me get z. How do I get z? I'm gonna say z it is equal to 180. Remember they are on a straight line, okay? 180 minus 135 it is 45 degrees. Supplementary angles or angles in a straight line, okay? What I can do now, if I can get B, which is the same as Y, in this case use corresponding angles, I can get that. Let me see if there is no easier way, because yeah, this one looks long, but no, it's fine. Let's continue. Then let me get Y, okay? Y is gonna be 180 minus X minus Z, okay? 180 minus X minus Z. So 180 minus X minus Z, which is 45Z, okay? I get something like 71.57 degrees. Y angles in a or on a triangle, however the English term. Okay, now that I have Y, I can get beta. Okay, you see why it is important for me to label this so that the examiner can see. Luana, you can follow which letter I'm talking about or what the relation. Okay, you are allowed to do this instead of using BAE. Okay, now B it is equal to 71.57 degrees. Why am I saying that? I'm gonna say alternating angles such that these two lines DE it is parallel to AAC. Lastly, I can get theta. Theta is gonna be 108 minus beta. Okay, angles in a straight line. 180 minus beta. Let me say 180 minus, okay, minus answer there. I get something like 108,43 degrees. So this is my answer. For 3 marks, it may seem long, but yeah, if there is an easier way, it's fine, continue with it. So what's important is that you get an answer of 108.43 there off, okay? Yes. Let me continue. The last question says to us now, G is a point such that EAGC in that order is very important. Let me come here. G is a point such that EAGC in that order is a parallelogram. Okay, let me see. EAGC. Remember, parallelogram is something like this. Okay, it wants to be like a rectangle, but it is not. And the properties now says now to us, these are the midpoints thereof. Are the midpoints. Okay, so let me see. EAGF, EA, no, EAGC, sorry, EAGC, EAG somewhere. I'm gonna have a G somewhere there. Then C combined with it, then I come back to E. So I should expect something more or less like that. Okay, this is G. Now let me try to draw that neatly so that you see exactly. Okay, let me quickly grab my. I want to join F to C. I want to join F to C. Okay, I think 14 degrees will do it. Okay, now if that's 14, let me try 14 also in here and see what will give me. Oh, no. Okay, it's fine. What's important is that you'll see, all right, if I have a midpoint here, I might have something like this. Okay. And yeah, you don't have to drop for perfection, but so that you see what you're doing. Yo. Okay, let me quickly do that. join these points there off now. Okay, let's try to do that quickly. Cool. Now, it might not be perfect, but yeah, I want you to see that this is G here. Okay? Remember, this is C, this is F. Oh, actually, it's not supposed to be F, E. It's supposed to be E. Okay, sorry. It's supposed to be E. They said EAG, C. Okay, now that's more of a parallelogram. I want you to take note that this line extends here. It will come, to that point, okay? Okay. So similarly, okay, now let's answer this question. They say now determine the equation of a circle centered at G and passing through point B, blah 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 blah. Now it means you have to find the coordinates of G first, right? My advice is get the coordinates of, okay, you can use midpoint from here. If this is a midpoint, it means these ones are also equal, okay? Now you can use midpoint, but what I'm gonna use, I'll have to find the coordinate of E. The coordinate of E will be something like my Y here, it is 0, I know that. How do I get my X? My X, I substitute, remember it is a point on this line, okay? It is a point on that line and it has an equation. So I substitute Y as 0 here. When I substitute Y as 0, I get 0 it is equal to negative x minus 11, therefore x it is equal to negative 11. So I have negative 11, okay? I'm going to use transformation again. From this point to that point, it is negative 11 plus something. It is equal to 9. So it means that something is going to be 20. So it means if I added 20 here, I have to also add 20. Let me say x plus 20. Similarly, x plus 20. Let's see the y. The y, it is 0 here, there it is 10. So it means it is y plus 10. Similarly, I have to say what? Y plus 10. Okay, but I know why here it is 0, but it's fine. Let's do that. The first important part, the first market is you getting the coordinate of E, right? Now, what are the coordinate of G? I'm going to use a transformation. I'm going to say A to G is going to be negative 1 plus 10. Is it negative 1? Yes. Plus, no, or plus 20. X here. X it is plus 20. Sorry, X it is plus 20. Therefore, Y which is T, it is negative 10, remember, plus 10. So they give me something like G, it is equal to negative 1 plus this, it is 19, negative 10 plus 10, it is 0. Okay, yes. You can also use midpoint formula here. Okay, I need this. You can also use midpoint formula here. How did I erase all of that? Yo, okay. You can use midpoint formula where here find the coordinate here first and then now find the coordinate of G using midpoint formula. Okay, your answer should be G it is equal to 19 and 0. Now if G it is 19 and 0, now they say now to us determine the equation of a circle centered at G passing through point B. Now let's try to have that. This is our circle centered at G, 19 and 0. Then it passes through a point B. Let me restructure that. This is my circle G and some random point or a point B. Here is B, right? So it means it passes at point B somewhere there. I think point B it is somewhere here. Okay, point B. Let's have the coordinate of B. Coordinate of B, remember it is 4 and 0. Okay, so that's a point there. So now we also know the coordinates here, it is 19 and 0. Now they want the equation of a circle. Remember, the equation of a circle goes like this. Uh, X minus a plus squared y minus b squared, it is equal to r squared. Okay, do we have a? Yes, a and b are the points on the center, right? We have them. What is r? R is the distance between what? R is the distance between these. And I want you to see something. From G to C, it is a straight line. Okay, so the distance is gonna be the. I meant now from B to G there. All right, let's see that. B to G, B to G. It is a straight line, right? So now if I have a coordinates here 4 and 0 and coordinates here 19 and 0. Now on a straight line like this is a horizontal straight line, so you're going to use x, right? So the x distance is going to be 19 minus 4, which is 15. So this is going to be our distance between G and D. It is a straight line. So it is something like a straight line, okay? This is our radius. All right, our radius, it is 15, 19 minus 9 minus 4. So we're going to come here and say our equation, it is what? X minus what is a? A, it is 19 squared plus y, what is b? B, it is 0. So you can say y is 0 because y minus 0 squared, it is y squared, right? Y squared minus what is r? R, it is 15, 15 squared. So let's simplify a little bit. X minus 19 squared plus y squared, it is equal to 225. So yes, that's it. Thank you.